What's up, everybody? This is the Reverend Alex Larson for another episode of Fill in the Blanks, a podcast for Blank Space Entertainment. With me is the internet's Mark Medina.
Why are you whispering?
I don't know. I got quiet.
He's like NPR. He's like, welcome, guys. The internet's.
Well, you see, he's the different personality. We have you, which is larger than life. We have the Reverend over here, who is just a little bit more down to earth. You got the machine, who has no personality.
You just introduced everybody.
Oh shit! Cut all of this.
I didn't get it.
Okay, I seriously did not mean to do that. I'm sorry.
Okay, so I was the internet's Mark Medina. Who else is here?
I'm sorry.
Ali, the machine.
The Martian. What? The Martian.
The much.
That's awesome.
Let him host.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Wait, I thought we were just doing a test run.
Oh, is it? No, fuck it. Just
I
go.
I just suggested, if you don't know what to say, then just do a few test runs so that you're more
No, we're
confident
good.
what to say.
Keep going.
Sorry, I didn't mean to take the reins. I really didn't.
Oh, it's fine. And Miggy Azalea.
I love that name. It's so
I feel
funny.
like we're just gonna laugh every time.
That's why it's so good.
I'm laughing with you, so it's okay.
Who is Miguel? I don't know your last name, so you're Miguel.
We're just gonna leave it at that.
Like a Spanish opera singer. And now introducing Miguel. Miguel what?
Miguel
Just Miguel.
Miguel Panty Snatcher.
Damn.
Jesus Christ. Oh, man.
All right, so take the reins again, man.
It's like you guys are building me out to be the smoothest swan.
Why'd you call us here
You are.
today?
Well, I called everybody here today because
We got something we need to discuss.
something we need to
Stop
talk
derailing him.
about. Mark, this is my episode. Calm down.
Shut the fuck up, Mark Medina.
You're being so goddamn basic.
Why do you laugh like that?
That's my honest laugh. Like, which like really, people hide the snort or whatever. That's my honest laugh. Like that I can't help it.
Okay?
It's just high pitched, pathetic.
Like Wicked Witch of the West.
No.
Okay.
Okay, I'm on.
What I was saying
Game face.
Game face.
was what I wanted to talk about today was development hell. A
What's
lot
that?
of games end up in it. Pretty much when the development cycle of a game ends up taking way longer than it's supposed to.
Yeah.
Like, they delay it over and over again. And, most of the time it ends up just not being too bad. But I want to talk about a few special cases. What made me think of the topic is that Final Fantasy 15, which originally was Final Fantasy 13 Versus, was announced like almost 10 years ago.
Yep.
Finally is going to come out this year.
Wait,
I remember
wait, 10?
It was
Yeah,
announced
so it
in
was
like
announced in
2006.
06.
Yeah,
Yes.
2006.
Fudge.
Yeah.
As a exclusive PS3 game.
Now it's a PS4 game, I'm assuming.
Now it's a
PS4
PS4
and Xbox One.
Xbox One,
shit.
yeah. And now it's an official like numbered title
Yeah.
for Final Fantasy. So they gave it an upgrade.
Yeah.
So were they just tossing around names for the past 10 years? Or what?
I know,
I
right?
guess, yeah.
What are we going to call this thing?
So it's
Fantasy
finally
versus
escaping
13?
development hell.
Yeah, so what happened with Final Fantasy 15 is basically, I think they had issues with engines. You know Square, they're always wanting to push graphically and stuff like that. And so they were in that kind of transitional period where it was like, okay, the consoles are kind of new, and then they got better and better as the game development went. And then all of a sudden, here's some new consoles, and they're like, well, we don't want to release some basic game.
Yeah.
So they're having
Some
a
basic
bunch,
shit, bro.
I know. So they were having a bunch of issues with their engines, and they finally were like, "This is the engine we're going off of." Because apparently their combat's like really deep and it's really
Yeah.
stylized, and so it needs like a certain engine to be able to run it and be able to run like
Everything else. Like
yeah,
the rest
all
of the
their
game.
really cool backgrounds. And
You know,
stuff.
I have to admit, I've never been much of a fan of, like the Final Fantasy games and
Yeah,
stuff
me
like
neither.
that. But stylized is a word that I really have to say is unique to Square Enix games.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 13 was super stylized.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Lightning was all over the place.
yeah, so I really have to give them credits. It's a game series, it's a game type that I don't really enjoy, but I can appreciate the fact that stylized. They're really well at it. So
This one will probably be really cool though. This one they're taking a more of a Kingdom Hearts approach when it comes to their combat and
Yeah, I love Kingdom
it's more of
Hearts.
an
That's
action RPG.
I'm a big Kingdom Hearts fan though.
and it doesn't take place on Earth, obviously. Jesus,
Go away, dog.
It doesn't take place.
Calm down, dog.
It doesn't take place on Earth, but it's a very like Earth.
So it's like
kind
a
of
parallel
place.
universe almost, kind
Yeah,
of.
it's
Yeah.
it's way more grounded from what I've seen.
on.
Like,
Yeah, it's supposed
I mean,
to be
it has like
really-
monsters and like big hulking
Yeah.
things, but like,
Is this the thing with them driving around a car?
Yep.
yeah, that's it.
I remember seeing that. Wasn't that released at like
I
E3
thought
one
like
year?
Yeah.
when I first saw that, I thought it was just like some Japanese pop star music video.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be mean.
Kind of has
like-
that feel.
Yeah,
I
it
know
really.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of like 3 transgender looking dudes driving around in a car.
Well, that's just male Final Fantasy characters.
Super, and that actually reflects the new standards of Japan too. Though actually, like there's a big problem with masculinity disappearing in Japan now, where like 50 years ago, men wanted to look masculine and and stuff, but
Yeah.
now the quote unquote good
Norm.
thing to look at is to look feminine. And it's reflecting, like, I think because, like, look at the characters in Final Fantasy for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Always
true.
always very androgynous. So maybe video games...
Soft face, big eyes.
So what you're saying
long
is
hair.
masculinity is in development hell.
That pun should have stayed in development hell.
Well, it's out
Okay.
there. We all have to deal with it.
So is there any games that you guys can
StarCraft
play?
Ghost.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Speaking of game that never escaped
So
development
I
hell,
saw that
let's
on
just
eBay a
go.
couple
Let's just
months
talk
ago.
about Blizzard. So StarCraft Ghost
Project Titan.
in development forever, canceled eventually.
I saw it on
Titan.
eBay actually for PlayStation 2. It was at $5.99. I almost bid on it.
It was just a disc with like a picture drawn in Sharpie.
I
on it.
know.
Like,
I
this
remember
is
seeing
obviously
screenshots
a
for that
director's
game.
cut.
And then what? Titan eventually got canceled. They said they couldn't find the fun in it, and they're transforming it into a different game now.
Yeah, we talked about it in a podcast before, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I forget what the game's called. but,
Titan.
Yeah.
Just, they changed it to a different name.
yeah, they're making it more of a arena. It's not a MOBA, but it's
Oh,
a
you're talking about Overwatch?
Overwatch. Is the one
Overwatch,
we're talking
okay.
I think it
about.
is kind of a MOBA.
Oh, maybe it is.
Oh,
And it has elements
I
of
think
it.
that's on early access on Steam.
Is it?
I
Overwatch?
think.
I've been seeing things here and there.
Hey, why would they release it on Steam?
I don't know. I could be mistaken. It could be just another MOBA that has a similar name or something.
Yeah, well, Steam is doing a lot of early access games that are still in development right now. It's just like you
Right,
pay
but
$20.
I
you
don't
get
think
to
a
play it.
Blizzard game would be on Steam.
That's
would
why
it?
I'm going back on myself. Probably not. It's probably something
Okay.
else.
Let's see. And then Diablo 3. Diablo 3 came out in 2012? Somewhere around there?
Quick thing
No,
about
2013, I
Blizzard.
think.
There's a currently, like, I think it's like 1 billion signatures to make the Necromancer in Diablo 3. Just, I will not buy Diablo 3 until they put the Necromancer in there. Just saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Alec.
Get off your soapbox already.
Blizzard, I will take you on.
But I went to BlizzCon 08 and I played that game. And that game was already like 2 years in development before that game finally came out. That's actually a good game, though. Speaking of non-good games,
Hey man,
what's up?
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, speaking of games kind of similar to Final Fantasy 15, I think it was announced the same year, was The Last Guardian.
Oh,
The
Last
Last
Guardian.
Guardian.
that rings a bell, but I don't remember.
It was made by the, I don't know the
Shadow of the
developer.
Team Eco
Yeah, Team.
Oh, Team
Ico.
Ico?
Yeah,
Shadow of the Colossus.
and
and Ico.
And I go. Yeah.
Mostly Shadow.
and they
Yeah.
announced it I think the same year, 2006.
2007.
Oh, 2007. So a year later, but people thought that was canceled and everything, but Sony still
still in
claims that it's in development.
I
They
think they
still
released
say
like
it's
some
in
footage.
development.
Wasn't Ico like one of the flag titles for the PS2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the same studio that's released that game, Shadow of the Colossus. So a PS2 era game, just like Final Fantasy 15, is still in development.
Yeah.
Well,
the
no,
pro-
they announced it for the PS3
Oh,
like,
yeah.
in the PS3
It-
era.
It got announced in 07.
I was
I
gonna
don't-
say, because skipping a whole generation entire, like, fuck.
Yeah, they missed,
Oh, you mean
they
Kingdom
missed the
Hearts?
concept. Yeah.
Ooh.
Nobody knows the story with what's going on with that.
Yeah, they even let the trademark like lapse a couple times.
They've let it's lapsed like twice, and they've
Yeah.
had to refile for it
Wow.
because it expired. because that's how long it's taken for this game. In the time The Last Guardian has been announced to now, Naughty Dog has released Uncharted 1, 2, 3, and Last of Us, and then gonna be Uncharted 4.
Dude, and the funny thing is,
All much better games than The Last Guardian's gonna be.
ooh. See,
Shots
it's funny is that
fired.
you say that is because they haven't been. It seems like they haven't been working on The Last Guardian, but yet they've remastered Shadow of the Colossus and Ico for the PS3.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like they kind of shoved it aside just to rework on this. Like, we liked it so much. We're
No,
just gonna
that was a
forget about
long
that
time
one."
ago, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. That did come out quite a while ago.
Yeah.
Still no excuse of why
Yeah.
The Last Guardian. I mean,
Yeah.
what happens,
It was-
I think what's happening with Final Fantasy. What? Okay, I think what happens and what's happening with Final Fantasy 13 or versus to be Final Fantasy 15 is they get so close to now that the PS4 and the Xbox One are coming out that they're like
PS1?
shit. Huh? I'm sorry.
You said PS1.
Oh, PS4 and Xbox One. That I think they're just like, well, shoot, we might as well just wait instead of taking the GTA 5 route where they were like, here's the game, and then instantly started working on the port to get it on the newer consoles.
Yeah.
I think they all want to just wait, and it's like, yeah, but. And then those textures. I mean, let's talk about textures from old systems. So the big one, Duke Nukem Forever.
That came out finally?
So Duke Nukem Forever got announced in 1997, and it came out in 2011. And the problem with a game when it's in development that freaking long is a lot of the textures in Jesus.
Where?
Where? What? A lot of the textures in Duke Nukem Forever are like Nintendo 64 textures.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Or early Xbox 360. Like, if you go back and play Perfect Dark Zero for the 360, you guys ever play that?
Yeah.
I mean, you take a look at Duke Nukem Forever. I played the demo.
hold on. You gotta wait for him to stop doing that.
It's going limp.
Okay, go.
All right. Wrong.
Hold on.
What was it?
It's gonna have to be good enough for now. Like,
Yeah, no.
That's
Yeah.
I just every time you touch it, it's going.
There we go. Okay. Sorry. We had a dog
Every
hit the
time you
table.
touch it, it goes
We-
limp.
Hey, go away.
Chill the fuck out, bro. It's a basic shit right there.
If you get a basic dog right now.
Have a seat, dog. And he took off.
All right, so continue.
Okay, so I was talking about Duke Nukem Forever, how great it was.
What?
10 out of 10, best game ever.
If you look, there's like 360 there's like 360
Yes.
status.
If you're gonna compare graphics and textured wise, I mean, you take a look at Perfect Dark Zero and Duke Nukem Forever. It's just like they're pretty much the same. They look the same.
Yeah.
They haven't come very far at all.
Well, Perfect Dark Zero was basically a launch title for the 360.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Look how
Yeah.
far into the console's life we are, and the way the game
Yeah.
looks. It's just like, what's your excuse, you know?
Duke Nukem Forever came out 2 years before freaking infamous Second Son. You're like, what? This should not happen. Yeah. And so the problem with development hell is they get like, okay, so like Duke Nukem, it was started by 3D Realms and Triptych Games, then finally taken over by Gearbox and Piranha Games.
Yeah.
And so the problem is, by the time the game comes out, too many people have touched it where it eventually just looks like shit.
Yeah, and Gearbox had just come off of doing what? What was it? I have right in my head, Borderlands, right?
Well, speaking of Borderlands,
We're talking about games that are in development now,
Segue.
right now.
right? So, well, we'll talk about another game
Borderlands
that's in
is rolling
development
out
hell,
pretty
which was
Segway.
Aliens: Colonial Marines.
Ooh.
Segway.
So the reason I bring up Aliens: Colonial Marines is because that game was in development hell forever as well.
And it's
Yeah.
a shitty game.
yeah,
It is.
it is.
Should have stayed there.
But
Well-
the reason it got stuck in development hell is there's a lot of rumors that when Gearbox started working on it, they started taking people to work on Borderlands. Whether that's actually true or not, we don't know.
I want to talk about an old game that was in development hell for a long time, but it was highly anticipated and it was probably one of the biggest flops of one of the most major game developers.
I already talked
What
about
game?
Duke Nukem.
Talking about the good old Daikatana.
Well, we don't know what that is.
You guys,
Yeah, I don't know
Daikatana,
what
I've
that is.
actually seen a YouTube video of that game. I
Never-
kind of know what you're talking about.
you've
but-
never heard of Daikatana? Or
I've never heard of it.
Oh wow,
Well, you just heard about it
that's
right
a
now.
product for. I mean, that is a topic for a whole podcast. So we'll save that. Trust me. Trust me.
Okay then.
Anything
Coming
else you want to
soon.
talk about? Games that are in development hell?
No, I think that's good. I can't really think of any.
What was the
Larson,
purpose
there's a
of
hole
this
in your
talk?
pants.
Is it?
There's a hole in your pants.
Okay. The internet needed to know that.
Thanks, Alec. They couldn't.
Yeah.
They can't see. Like,
Okay, well, somebody Snapchatted.
oh, okay. How about
It
this?
was real. He wasn't full of it.
Can I post my Snapchat on here?
What?
Yeah, hell yeah. I want to get some random
Self-promotion.
shit. Yeah, self promotion. Because I'm bored. Someone
Like a mother.
send me some fucking Snapchats. I don't care.
Don't.
Josh Rogan in the studio. He's
no,
getting
it's
ready
not.
to post a Snapchat.
So development
kidding.
hell, not a good thing.
No.
Not a good thing to get stuck in.
A few games make it out okay, but
Like
very
what?
Few.
One thing I want to say about like Duke Nukem is the fact that the way it was in development hell so long. I think another reason why it wasn't received that well was because I think people outgrew it.
Yeah.
Outgrew the humor.
Yeah,
Outgrew
yeah. The jokes
style
are
of it,
real
you know what I mean?
old, and
I'm like I've seen gameplay footage. I've seen the game being played, and I was like, this is like the same crap I've seen in the older games. You know, like here's the boob jokes, here's the crap jokes.
yeah,
You know, I think maybe everybody
they're just
outgrew
not
it,
as
yeah.
funny anymore.
And then we go and watch South Park.
Yeah. South Park does it in a much clever way, though. Duke Nukem Forever isn't clever about its humor.
Yeah, it's just
They
like here's
just-
a pair
they
of
just
boobs, you can
make
punch it.
Rape jokes, and he just makes they're not funny though.
Yeah,
He is Mr. Misogynist.
Mr. Misogynist. I do want to hear some of the one-liners that they're notorious for.
Have you played the game?
Never played it. I mean, I
Oh.
played the demo and I've watched videos of it. I heard it was so terrible. I'm not going to waste $2 on it.
Yeah, no, it's pretty bad.
Damn, harsh.
So that's it.
Yep.
Get
That's
us,
the end of the episode.
get us out of here, Larson.
I feel like
God.
we're on a sour note here talking about Duke Nukem.
I
I
know.
know.
Let's talk about dresses.
We did that last week.
Did you? Well, I didn't.
Yeah, we talked about
Talked about the dress.
the dress.
Yeah, I wasn't here.
Go
last
White and
week.
gold one.
All right, everybody. That's another episode. Leave a comment down below. If you ask us a question, we will answer it because we have nothing better to do, really.
Talk about
And
the
the scroll bar down below, that is our subscribers. And if you subscribe, we'll put your name down there. And it'll
As
be
long,
an
as long
honor.
as you're not.
Don't have anything super offensive, I guess.
Well, it's the biggest
We'll
issue
censor
is
it.
people have it checked on their YouTube to not show when they're subscribed to stuff. So even though it says we have subscribers,
We can't
it's
see
I'm
them.
only seeing half the list. So if you want to be on the bar, you have to make sure that
You got to meet
you
us
can
here.
subscribe and that I can see it. So
If you do subscribe, just let
yeah,
us know.
we'll put you down there.
And for anybody who actually enjoys listening, thank you. Like, we do this for fun, but it's also really fun for us if people actually like this. So,
Good stuff.
yeah,
Exactly.
it's a lot of fun for everybody.
Thanks for listening, guys.
We're out. That's it.
Goodbye.
See ya.
Deuces.